We are back with another episode of Fireside Chat. This is episode number 8 because I did not
Crazy.
make one in August because I was not here. And today we are talking about short films or concept films that became full length feature films. And there are
Yeah,
a lot more than I thought there were,
yeah.
going back a much longer time. So
Yeah, I
for
didn't
right
think
now,
that there
we
would be
have.
so many.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. So right now we have Red and Liquid Ebola with us.
Hello?
Hello.
So I guess we'll start out with what would you consider a short film?
I mean,
Like
they're
if you
like the
had to
novellas of
categorize it
film.
as something,
I would say one that's I guess not a big production film.
like an indie film.
Yeah, but also I guess there are some that have like not like a big studio wise.
Yeah, a lot of these were started out as smaller projects.
Yeah.
I think for me, a short film really has to do with like time. Like how much can you pack into a short amount of time and still get your idea across?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the ones on this list are like one I had no idea was probably one of the oldest ones I found was the movie 12 Monkeys, which was made in 1995
Fantastic movie.
by Terry Gilliam. Well, it was directed by Terry Gilliam, and the screenplay was David Peoples and Janet Peoples. But it was based on a short film by Chris Maker during the French New Wave film movement in 1962 called La Jetée.
Interesting.
So I think that's probably one of the oldest ones I've found. It's obviously it's not a new thing. It's the whole idea of these has been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
I think that they just became more prevalent, like as technology improved, and then made it easier for younger filmmakers to, like have a high concept and be able to actually pull it off, like with relative ease.
Yeah,
Um,
because if
I
you look
mean, there's
now, there's like a lot of filmmakers on like YouTube and stuff that do like great films, and a lot of their stuff is maybe a couple $1,000s at max.
Well, I mean, there's even some filmmakers that go and make shorts after making large films, like Neil Blomkamp, who made District 9, which was, funny enough, a short film that turned into a major production. He
Well,
does
the
Oak
major production
Studios.
was District 9.
Yeah,
The
I
original
forget what the
short was Alive in Joburg.
yeah. So and it starred the same actor, that guy from South Africa, but which made him famous. But now he does Oat Studios, which you can watch on Netflix, and he has a whole bunch of shorts. One of them, which includes Sigourney Weaver in one. I'm trying to remember what that one's called. It's like Raka or
Yeah, I think
something
it was
like
called
that.
Rocket because I remember you showed it to me. District 9 was going to have a actual sequel. I would have gone with something like that.
Oh man. Well, it was fantastic. So I think that what defines a short film in the regards that we're talking about is just that it's high concept and not in like a sci-fi way, but just a high concept that you try to deliver in a very short package. So it can like have, lower or higher production values, but it's more about like the concept and less about things like character development or trying to weave a much larger story or things like that. It's like let's show you what we're going for, whether it be you know, a this is the kind of world that we're trying to create, this is the kind of look that we're going for, this is the kind of story beats that we're looking at, or the kind of characters that we're dealing with, sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I was not expecting there to be so many on this list because I had brought up to you that the first one that came to my mind when you were talking about shorts was that horror film Lights Out, because I had seen the short for that originally on YouTube, and then I was like, they're making that into a movie, and it was very, very creepy. And which every time there was a guy standing at the edge of a room and he was flicking the light switch on and off because he kept seeing something in the darkness, and then he'd turn it on, there'd be nothing there, and he'd turn it off and it's standing there, and then he'd turn it back on and it's gone, turn it off and it's still standing there, turn it back on and it's gone, turn it off and now
And
it's
there's
moved
Pyramid Head
halfway across
tweaking.
the room. Yeah, dude. It's that was just super creepy, and it's like, oh, that would be really cool to see them do an entire film out of, and then lo and behold they did. And the movie itself was all right, but I really like that kind of concept where it's like, look, this is like we're doing a horror movie, like this is our creature sort of thing. I love it when they're able to do that and get that across.
Or a way to show that they really are dedicated to making something like what another creator made originally.
Hmm.
Like the one I found earlier was the short was called "The Customer Is Always Right," and I've already told Red which one this is. Ebola, can you guess what movie that is or that became?
The customer's always right.
Yes.
Uh, I Clerks. I don't know actually.
Let me put it this way: if I told you that it was based on a graphic novel by Frank Miller,
Is it a Batman
no,
comic? Okay, I don't know.
Sin City.
Oh,
Yeah, it was his
So I
way
am,
of showing Frank Miller what his idea was for making Sin City.
but I will say saying Clerks to the title of The Customer's Always Right is a fantastic guess and way better than anything I came up with.
that was. I have not. I haven't watched a Clerk, but just that seemed like something that would be in a Clerks. I guess it's talking about. I've seen a few seconds, but it's store related.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
going on that, another one is a short called Milton that became the movie Office Space.
Which, oh my god. Which is so funny because he wasn't the central character of the movie, but he became like the most meme part of the movie, like the red swing line seat, I mean, a Thiepler, and they put him down in the basement, and he is like the one who actually gets away with burning the office down and getting away with all the money and stuff that they are trying to embezzle throughout the course of that film. And it's just hilarious because he's like this tertiary character. I did not know that he was actually a full-fledged like that there was a full-fledged short film about him specifically. I would love to see that one.
It's on one of the links I put up. So
Oh
I
man.
in the chat I put up a couple of links that I'm getting a lot of these from, and I'm just gonna say on Wikipedia alone, which is far from complete because a bunch of the ones that I've seen on other lists are not on their list. But on their list alone is 186 individual films.
Man,
Like I didn't
That's
that,
think there were that many that became full feature films,
that's
especially
pretty
nowadays.
crazy.
I mean, like
I
nowadays when you
mean,
look at a lot of the movies coming out, it's like, did they even do a concept for this? Did anyone know what they were doing?
I just find it fascinating that there was so many directors on there that I love their work and that they had done shorts like Neil Blomkamp who did District 9 or Paul Thomas Anderson who did Boogie Nights and he just released a movie that's in a theater right now, the One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, I watched what is it called? There Will Be Blood just a few months ago and the last time I had seen that movie, I was literally half my age that I am now because I'd seen it in the movie theater and it didn't quite click with me because I was like 17 or 18 when I had seen that and it was a little over my head. And then now watching it as an adult, I just found it utterly fascinating. And I was like, man, that guy is such a talented director. And to find out one of his most infamous movies, Boogie Nights, was made after a short when it's made after a fictional porn star is so funny.
Yeah, I love the original short name that I'm honestly surprised they didn't go with. The
Yeah, the
Dirk
Dirk
Diggler
Diggler.
story.
I mean, that's his name.
Like if they
His
would have
name in the movie.
called it like Boogie Nights, the story of Dick Diggler, that would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, dude. And a lot of people argue that that's his best movie, and I can see why a lot of people like it. There's lots of good elements to it, but I mean, the scene that comes to my mind, because there's so many shocking scenes in that movie, but was the one when his mother calls him a whore and slaps him across his face because he's like, "I've got the big dick. I'm making money, mom." And then she
And he made
fucking
that movie at
slaps him.
17. Yeah,
Oh,
Paul
the short or the
Anderson
actual
made
movie?
Dirk Diggler at 17 in
Oh,
1987.
that's wild. Holy shit. No kidding.
Yeah,
He made a movie about a porn star before he was technically old enough legally to even consume pornography.
wow.
That's wild.
it also
He's
said
a
that
wild dude.
this the Spinal Tap also partially inspired him to start making that.
Because it was low budget Rob Reiner stuff.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and of course we
That's
all
fantastic.
know the original Evil Dead was essentially a concept in and of itself.
Yeah. And
But
even weirder is
apparently he
they
based it off a film he'd made earlier called Within the Woods. So they already
yeah.
had kind of a setup for what they wanted to do, and they then made The Evil Dead uh,
Well,
just about 4 years later.
And then
Within
they
the Woods was
basically
1978, and The Evil Dead was in 1981.
and then they rehashed it with Evil Dead 2, which is essentially the same, like the same beats of the first movie, only slightly different. Which is, I mean, that's
Yeah, they made
Sam
it more into
Raimi
a
for you.
comedy than a horror.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite of all those is Army of Darkness, but I mean, it goes so far away from like the original concept of that horror. But I mean, come on, he pioneered the cabin in the woods horror genre. How many movies work exactly off of that premise?
A lot. And of course, there
A
were a bunch
lot.
of short films that didn't change their name. Like Nine was still just called Nine, which is that movie about the dolls that all have like a piece of their inventor inside them, and it's a post-apocalyptic world.
I remember when they were advertising that as this isn't your little brother's animated movie, which is what made me go see it in the movie theater because I was like, huh, like a big budget animated movie. I mean, it was $40 million or
But it
so
also
that
kind of
what they
proves
paid for
that
that.
they, if you have a successful short, it
30.
won't always transfer into a successful feature because
Hmm.
the short had a bunch of awards, but the actual feature film barely scraped anything.
Yeah, I think it was because it was Um, oh, dude, and I didn't know this that they set it to Coheed and Cambria's song "Welcome Home" that for the trailer, the original one. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard, especially in comparison to animated films of the time, which I mean make buku bucks, like all the Toy Story movies and stuff like that. For
Well, I
you to
think that
go,
was
okay,
part of it for something like that was everyone was still like the whole reason they put the tag up there. This isn't your little brother's animated movie, is because a lot of the animated movies that were out at the time were still like based towards kids.
yeah, and it's
Like
not an
making an
anime
adult
where there's
CG animated movie wasn't really a thing at the time.
yeah.
It
Well, I
was.
mean, like with oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and back then wasn't animated movies mostly. I mean, still now people just assume anything animated is a child show or movie.
Yeah, we still have that misconception.
Well, and it's
Like I'm
not
like,
a
oh yes, Family Guy and King of the Hill is such a kids show.
Yeah,
Good point.
I learned that very on. I think I was watching Family Guy. I'm like, this is not kid friendly. I'm like, oh. So I learned not everything animated is kid friendly.
Yeah, like Beavis
I
and
mean there was a
Butthead. And
reason Fritz the Cat literally had their tag as like the first X-rated adult movie.
I mean, Adult Swim exists for a reason, or it
Absolutely.
existed. I'm not sure if it
Yeah,
still
except
is
Adult
around
Swim started
anymore.
over here at like 7 or 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Wasn't much
it
of a
was like
late
at
night
least
thing.
yeah. I'm not sure if Adult Swim still exists, but that back then it was like around. It switched from Cartoon Network to Adult Swim around like 10 or 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
And that was when they had like
Yeah,
the good animations and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
when I never, it was usually too late for Adult Swim, but usually it started with King of the Hill.
Yeah, and then you
And
had stuff like Tanami kind of towing the line a little bit with some of the anime choices.
yeah, it had like Adult Swim was kind of like the adult animated shows. Plus, you might get some anime in there.
Oh, you definitely. It was like every Saturday they had the anime shows. So they had
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff
I
like
didn't.
Tenchi Muyo and Big O and
Oh,
Ghost in the
Tensei
Shell.
Muyo.
Yeah. Cowboy Bebop. That
Oh
was the
hell
first
yeah!
time I actually saw
I
Cowboy
think
Bebop
that
was on Adult Swim.
I think they had Attack on Titan at one point.
I think they did for a little bit, but they had the weird dubbed version. They didn't have the sub one.
Uh, that was when I think we started. I think when we started to get rid of cable because man, that was
Paying a
it's not
lot for
really.
not much.
Yeah. Also, it started to get to the point where there's real where to back then where it started to slowly there wasn't really anything to watch on cable anymore.
Feel you there.
Oh yeah, and the one that actually started me down this rabbit hole was I was watching a thing by. Let me see if I can find the name because it's another channel. Okay, well I look up the name. I'll tell you the thing that he brought up was that the original Saw film was based on a short called that is now called Saw Point Five.
Fantastic. I mean, talk about starting an entire horror franchise. I mean, in my opinion, the first one's my favorite, but like the second one is fantastic, and they kind of went off the rails after the third one with some of the stuff that they were going for. But and I haven't seen the what is that called, Spiral? the one with Chris Rock of all people, which I thought was kind of an interesting pick, but I never saw that one.
It was
But
an
yeah,
interesting concept, but it kind of failed in execution.
well, I was like,
Well, for
huh,
me anyway.
I have not seen that, but it definitely piqued my interest. But I love the idea of, taking people who are not typically related to that kind of content, like Chris Rock, a stand-up comedian who's been in a bunch of movies, and having him be like as a detective in a hard horror movie as a comeback. I was like, huh, what a way to gain, public interest in that sort of thing. But I mean, I love the Saw movies, and that's again like the concept of Jigsaw, where he's this guy who he was dying of cancer and then thought that people weren't appreciating the life that they were given. And then so he was putting them through these elaborate forms of torture in order to have them truly appreciate it. But as the film series went on, it turned more into like
Torture porn
torture
is
porn
essentially
with,
what they called it.
where
Here it
it's
is.
just
It's
like,
the
what are
video
the
that started me on this was called "All Saw Movies Accurately Explained" by Big Will.
and he brought up the point five in that.
Yeah, he talked about like how they got into making it. Like his whole thing is like comedy based around the accurately explained stuff. Like he has one about accurately explained the Blair Witch Project.
Oh man,
And
that
one of
has
those
the
things is like they were up against the most terrifying thing known to man, a woman.
Blair Witch Project has the highest return on investment of any film of all time for the
Well,
amount of
remember, a
money
lot of
that it
people thought it
made
was
versus.
real too.
Well, yeah, I showed it to my daughter when she was just at the prime age, and was like, by the way, this is all real, just so you know. And what? But yeah,
Yeah, that's how you
that
do it.
dude, that movie is freaking terrifying. I remember seeing that when I was a little kid. So I was like 9 when that came out, because if I'm not mistaken, that came out in like '99. Um, but yeah, I was little when I saw that. And I remember seeing the people in the basement with their heads turned into the corner, and thought that was just that stuck with me for a very long time. But yeah, and then as soon as the movie was over, I was like, by the way, that's not real. It's like I'm not gonna hold you for 6 months like the people did with all those real actors and stuff.
Now,
'Cause
here's
that
the thing.
really
That was
freaked some
actually based
people
off a
out.
couple of short films before the Blair Witch Project.
Hmm.
There was a movie called The Curse of the Blair Witch and then The Burkittsville 7. And those were both before the Blair Witch Project.
And had no traction, and then they made that one, and it just took off like a freaking rocket.
Yeah, it took off because they kind of got on the whole, the internet's still kind of new thing. And
Yes.
they were probably one of the first ones to do like major advertising online.
Yeah, and have like that kind of guerrilla marketing campaign using the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, here's one that just popped up that I just saw. I haven't seen this movie in so long. There's a movie called Joe's Apartment. Are you either of you familiar with this thing? It's such a strange movie.
No, I don't believe I've heard of it.
Apparently this was based off of a short originally. It has Jerry O'Connell in it, but it is this guy moves to New York and needs an apartment, and he ends up moving into this total shithole apartment. Um, there's an artist named Walter Shit in it. He helps him move into this apartment. But yeah, there's talking cockroaches, which is why when I was younger, I was like, whoa, what? And it's a very bizarre movie. I mean, the tagline for the movie is "Sex, Bugs, and Rock and Roll." But apparently, this was based off of a short, super strange movie, kind of a niche thing. I mean, they made it for the big budget one for 13 million and only pulled in 4.6 million in the box office. Couldn't imagine why. Not saying it's a good movie, but when you see it when you're a kid, it definitely sticks in your memory when there's talking cockroaches.
Definitely.
But
Napoleon
yeah, the
Dynamite's another one.
oh, do you remember when that we were in high school when that came out, and I remember people saying you've got to see it because it's so bad, it's good, and it's just bizarre and bizarrely entertaining. I haven't seen that probably since high school. So now, geez, like 20 years now.
Would that be
But I
considered
found
a so bad it's good movie?
no, it was like somehow like relatable in some ways with the way that some of the characters were and stuff, and it's definitely like American through and through. It's not one that you could make really in a foreign country just because of the mentality and stuff. But I mean, some of the zany characters, like the Uncle Rico, like I used to throw pigskin over that mountain, and Kip looking for LaFonda and stuff. His brother trying to pick up black women over the internet, which is which is just so funny. I actually have a water bottle with a picture with a sticker of Kip on it, holding up the sign that says LaFonda. I mean, it's definitely a bizarre movie. I remember I hated it the first time I saw it,
I
and then
think
I
we were
ended up
all kind of
watching
like
it
that. It's like the
again.
first time you watched it, it's like, what the hell is
It's
this?
bizarre. Yeah, the first time you watch it, it's just a bizarre movie. You're like, what is going
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
was from a student short film called Palooka.
Yeah, that's what
on?
made
It
what
was
the hell
made
is
on
that guy's name?
$500 on black and white 16 millimeter film.
What made that guy famous? I forget his name, the main character of the movie. But that's what made that
I
actor famous, and he ended up being in like Blades of Glory and a whole bunch of other stuff.
think the main character is John Heder.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, as a breakout indie hit.
Yeah, which he's
I mean, what? How do you turn that into a full-length
Blades of
feature film?
Glory. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not really sure. And of course, you have like Machete becoming Machete.
Some films are perfectly named the first time.
it
That's a lot
seems.
of.
I was gonna say I'm looking through it. It seems like he mostly became more animated on the animated side than not.
Mhm.
So he started doing like more voice acting roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, like he has. For some reason he has Veggie Tales.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, mostly he used Ben 10 and stuff like that. So it's mostly animated kids
Okay.
shows
Well, I don't know
or
if you would really
movies.
call a lot of the later Ben 10 stuff kid stuff.
Well, it was Ben 10. I think it just said Ben 10.
Okay, so it's probably
Yeah.
the original series.
Yeah. I was
Because it
just
was like
looking
later
through.
on that they got into like the whole thing of like actual Lovecraftian monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally had an entire episode arc going over trying to stop the esoteric order of Dagon.
That's funny. Isn't it awesome how they can put stuff like that, like in what would be considered to most people a kid show, and it goes right over the top of their heads what it actually is.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Napoleon Dynamite had a budget of $400,000, and they made $46 million off of it in the box office. But I mean, that's not even counting DVD sales. Back in the day, the amount of money that you would make off a DVD.
Oh yeah, it was what do they call it? Like a video rental hit.
Well, they, from what I understood, in the back in the day of DVDs before piracy took off with how much better, like how much more what's the word I'm looking for? How much faster the internet got, so then you'd actually be able to torrent movies.
Yeah,
Before
usually it
that
would have
happened,
taken like days, when now it only takes like
yeah.
a couple hours, maybe.
Well, and so in that time before that, and then before streaming, from what I understood, a lot of these movies, all the theatrical release was, or at least how these studios looked at it, was an advertisement for the DVD. Because that's where you would make a lot more money, because there was a huge cut that was taken by movie theaters and stuff for them to show it in their theaters and stuff. And then, but the profit margin was so much higher on DVDs. I mean, you're literally just putting it on a disc, and some of them, would require like a lot more stuff, and like people expect a lot of special features and stuff like that with like the Lord of the Rings movie. But on Napoleon Dynamite,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
you're just literally putting it on a DVD and slapping it in a case. And it's just play movie, and it's just next to no effort in manufacturing that, and they would make $20-$30 off of those a piece, and then so
Like
they
per
make
sale, and you don't
yeah.
have any. You don't really have like the stores taking a huge percentage of that kind of thing.
Nope. Nope. And I mean, was way more profitable. And from what I understand, that's why there's not really any romantic comedies anymore like how there used to be. There used to be, they were everywhere for a long time. I mean, that's how Matthew McConaughey really made a lot of money and got famous, was in being in all these rom-coms. But the reason why they're not really like that anymore, or they're not making them as frequently, is because there's just not the market for it. They don't make as much movie because people don't, go out to the movie theaters to see those as much as they would buy them on DVD. And then so there's just a whole like subsections of different genres of movies that they don't really make too much anymore, because unless it's like an Avengers thing where it's going to make a shitload of money at the box office, they don't really, they're like, because we're not going to make anything on the back end with Blu-rays and DVDs.
Oh, speaking of Matthew McConaughey, this is way off topic, but also I just remembered it from watching the local news yesterday. Have you heard of a movie called The Last Bus? It's going to be on Apple Plus.
No, I have not. What is that?
Have you heard anything about it, Ebola?
What is it called?
It's called The Last Bus with Matthew McConaughey.
No.
It is a movie based on a bus driver during the, I can't remember if they said it was during the car or the park fire up here, who was
Oh,
trapped
no
in the
shit.
flames with a busload of kids.
Is that Park Fire recent or is that
It was a couple of years ago.
more? Okay.
Yeah, but it's based on an actual driver from our area who was trapped with a bunch of kids in a bus, driving them out of the fire zone.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't know that. I know that they had made that one documentary about it.
Yeah, they're
And
making a full Apple Plus movie starring Matthew McConaughey as that bus driver.
no kidding.
I mean, the
It's all
guy
that
at
on
least
that
sounds like
kid.
Matthew McConaughey when they were interviewing him, so they have the same accent.
Yeah.
But they don't. He doesn't
Apple-
exactly look like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Apple Movies, I guess, just makes random movies about the most bizarre things. Like you see, there's someone's like a eye roll for reasons, or it's just the most random thing. Like Tetris randomly came out, and it's like, oh, this is ironically a good movie.
Yeah,
Well,
I
let me see
heard
if
good
I can
things about
find
that.
the actual. Oh, the Lost Bus is what it's called. The Lost Bus.
No,
Not the Last Bus. The Lost Bus.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I only knew about the Tetris because there's a music group that sang that one of the songs for the movie.
Oh, it was during the campfire.
Oh.
So
That was the one up in
The Lost
Paradise,
Bus
right?
is a film based on a true story about a school bus driver, Kevin McKay, and his rescue of 22 children and 3 adults during the campfire in Paradise.
Yeah, that's the deadliest
It's
wildfire in
featuring
California
Matthew
history.
McConaughey and America Ferrera.
Oh,
Man, that
pretty good choices there.
mm-hmm.
And it uses real elements, including real firefighters and the involvement of actual family members.
That's brutal. I mean,
It's
if I'm not
interesting.
if I'm not mistaken, it's like 89 people died in that fire. But sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know it's interesting how some of these like real events they use like the actual family members are actually real specialists to make sure it's accurate because like events like this, you obviously, well, if you
Well, at least everybody
you know,
survived. So they're not like
yeah,
the dramatizing deaths of children. Everybody who was on the bus survived.
that's good.
And
Is there nothing
apparently his
I
son
think
is in
they
it too.
just
Levi
I just think
McConaughey.
I just think in I guess terms like this, like they go even more careful than what they would on any other movie because like this is something that happened. If we mess it up, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, they can't mess this one up, especially because it's so recent. It was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, it's recent enough to the point where the government still hasn't paid out to those people.
oh,
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
are still really pissed off because the government hasn't paid them the insurance money that they were owed to
That's
be able
not
to
great.
start rebuilding. Yeah, the stats are it results in the death of 85 people and 19,000 buildings, which was most of the town of Paradise.
Yikes.
And that was actually not too far from where me and Red are.
No, not too far. I did a lot of work up there. I knew exactly what that place used to look like before that fire happened, and it was I mean, it was a freaking tinderbox. It's just crazy. I didn't think that it would move like that, but yeah, you can watch some of the videos online of people driving through it and the traffic jams that happen and how fast it was moving like 100 yards every like 10 seconds or something like that. It was a super fast moving fire, and that's why a lot of the people that died were mainly older people because it's more of a retirement community. So a lot of them just never didn't leave and they just got burned out.
Yeah,
Absolutely brutal.
I think a few months ago at a house. Someone came back from a catering and they're like a house burned down and it's like
Give
a
me
few.
just a second here. I got to replace the battery in my headphone because it's beeping at me.
Uh,
And there it was chastising Red earlier, saying you need to get a wired microphone and keyboard.
Yeah.
I used to have a wired one, and then I kind of busted the plug in. So then I've used a wireless from then on since I basically screwed up the plug or the plug into the computer. I try to get a new one, but it doesn't work. So wireless and
Really
go.
there.
There we go. Now I got sound back. So for a couple seconds there, we lost all audio because it's recording through my headset.
Ah.
Ah.
Oh well. So this is editing Tobias here. I just want to say that actually it did capture the audio, which you guys just heard. I honestly thought that I had lost all the audio for that short bit there where I had to replace the battery. But it turns out that OBS will continue recording even if you don't have the headset set up. I'm just glad that I found out about that now. So just future reference, as long as your audio is still going, you don't have to have a headset active at that time. It will continue to record the audio even without the headset being active.
No worries. No
Anyway.
worries.
Oh, and Alive and Joburg also caught the attention of Peter Jackson.
No kidding.
And
That's District 9.
originally, before they pulled out, it inspired him to want to make a live action version of Halo with Blomkamp in the director's chair.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man, that
why
would've been
didn't they?
sick.
Is the question.
It just says they backed out. While the Halo creators ultimately backed out of the film adaptation, Jackson gave Blomkamp $30 million to do with whatever he wanted to do. And instead, the direct result of that was District 9.
Oh, it's just chef's kiss. That movie's so fantastic. I remember seeing that in the movie theater.
I guess there's a positive to the backing out of a Halo movie.
Especially now, considering we've seen what they've done with the series.
Don't mention it.
Well, Neil Blomkamp is such a talented director. He was going to do, he wanted to do a direct sequel to the 1986 Aliens with Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn and actually continue that story. Like basically.
Oh, you mean based off what the Dark Horse comics went off of instead of what they decided to do?
No, well, he was going to do his own thing, and he like all that you can find now is concept art and like some interviews with him where he talks about like some of the story elements and stuff. But it sounded really really interesting. But basically, it was going to have Michael Biehn's character, Sigourney Weaver's Ripley, and Newt in it. In which that was the only movie that actress ever did as Newt. So I'm sure that they would have, had to find somebody else or whatever that would have played her as a younger, or I don't know if they would have aged while they were in.
Yeah, they would have had to age.
Like some
if
sort
you
of thing.
follow the comics series done by Dark Horse before Alien 3 came out, it was basically they did like a whole Alien Earth series based on that. Like it went through like the beginnings of it and then into Alien Earth. And now there's a really crappy version that's out on streaming that nobody seems to like.
Yeah, I liked some elements of it were really interesting, but the last episode of Alien Earth sucked in my opinion. I hated the ending of it. Did not get me excited for a second season, but the new creatures were pretty cool, or at least the Teostelis, the eyeball creature, which bores into your eye socket and pops your eyeball out and then is able to take control of you. That creature is
I heard
pretty
Alien
freaking
Earth
cool.
was not great.
No, it had some elements in it that I found like fantastic.
Some of the alien designs were interesting, but the story didn't nearly match up to what they could have done.
In context to the Alien, I guess, franchise, if you want to.
Well, if I want to go off it, there have been like 3 or 4 different stories where the xenomorphs are on Earth. I mean, there's the Dark Horse series. There's like 3 or 4 video games that feature that same premise, including the arcade beat 'em up, Alien vs Predator, the original arcade game.
Yeah, but no
and
movies
of course you've had like
ever.
Predator on Earth twice, once in the big city, once in the jungle, so they could have done more with that.
Yeah.
Like that's how they could have done an Alien vs Predator move in. Like you have the aliens coming to Earth, the xenomorphs, getting loose and starting to take over, and then the predators show up because there's now an apex species on this planet, and you do it like before they've ever met, so it's like their first time encountering xenomorphs. All they know is there's 2 apex species on one planet. What kind of better hunt could you ask for? And then that could lead into an actual Alien versus Predator series.
That would be fun. And I mean, both of the AVP movies took place on Earth, but like as far as like the actual like original Ridley Scott movies or any of the like the the 4 original ones or Alien Romulus or some of these other ones, none of them take place on Earth. That's why I was so excited to see what they were going to do. And the guy who did Noah Hawley, who made Alien Earth, wrote Fargo, which won a shitload of awards, and he's apparently a very talented writer. He just has the same syndrome that Ridley Scott had when he's making those Prometheus movies, where it's just like, do the characters have to be functionally retarded? Like, I don't understand. It's like they have no preservation, a lot of the decisions that they make
They have to be
zero
relatable to
sense.
the American public today, so of course they have to be.
I guess there's just so many of the decisions that they make in those in that show and in some of those movies are just absolutely baffling. And it's like, like, I don't understand the script writing process and how things are done, but you would think that somebody would have read that and be like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, would they really want to do this? Like, there's so many elements that were in that show where I'm just like, man. And some people online were explaining it as well. There's because there's references in the show, and I know that we've gone like way off of the tangent
We
or off
always
on
do.
a tangent from where, but they talk about Wayland Utani schools and stuff, and how one character's daughter is sent to a Wayland Utani school, and then so they're
Well, I
like,
mean, it makes
maybe all
sense
these
if
people
Weyland
are
Yutani
so
builds like all the major colonies, there would be schools
yeah.
in those colonies sponsored by Weyland Yutani.
Yeah, but that they're so dumb that they would. But like again, they're like for instance, they're able to get 5 new species of alien, including a xenomorph, right? But the crew who does this is so dumb that they a lady who's working in the lab has no protective equipment on her at all whatsoever, leaving open containers of water for these bugs to spit stuff in. There's just so many different like they keep them in jars that are able to get like where the creatures can stick a little like appendage out and unlock it, and there's just so many different things that were in that. They're just like, why?
Like the
Who?
idiocy in Covenant, where it's like, oh, we're on an alien planet, let's take our helmets off.
Exactly, and it's just like that doesn't make any sense. It
Or
would
the
go
one
against
running away
any
from an alien
protocol of space
spaceship
travel.
rolling in Prometheus when they could literally just move to either side and let it go by.
Even that one I find more forgivable because it's like, you're scared or whatever and blah blah blah. You wouldn't think, but even that, it's
I mean,
I
I would,
find
but
more
then again, my
forgivable
natural
than
inclination is get away from the thing coming at me the easiest way possible. And if it's going in a straight line, you go away from that straight line.
yeah, no kidding. You don't run away from the car. You get off to the side of it when it's driving at you, you know? Nobody tries to outrun a car. But
Well, I mean,
anyway,
people
I
have
I
tried;
mean,
they
digress.
just weren't very
I
successful.
mean, there people have tried, but it usually doesn't work out too well.
Exactly,
They learn to
exactly.
fly
Yeah,
or
Larry
roll.
spoken much better than
I mean,
myself.
there has been people that jump over a car or something while it's driving, which,
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. They gotta have incredible leg strength.
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant
yeah,
did that in that one Nike commercial or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's my little rant about Alien. But one that was brought up here that I saw to get us back on the original subject of these shorts that were turned into a movie. Um, there was the original Grindhouse movies, the two-parters with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino that they made back in 2007 that had Grindhouse trailers in the middle of the movie for other fictional. That's where like the Machete movie came from because they had a Grindhouse trailer for that in during the Grindhouse movie. I didn't realize this, even though I've seen both of those movies. Another one of those trailers that they ended up turning into a real movie was Hobo with a Shotgun with
Yeah, that
Ruger
was
Hauer.
a pretty good one actually.
Yeah, the Technicolor, I mean, super gory. I mean, and it's supposed to be an exploitation type film where it's way over the top and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, it does
what an
exactly what it
interesting.
says on the cover. It's a hobo with a shotgun. There's no
Well, and
deeper meaning.
I'll watch anything with Ruger Hauer, dude. He was the fucking man. He was so awesome. It's too bad that he's dead. And a lot of people are like, yeah, because of Blade Runner. Dude, he was in so many other movies like Lady Hawk and The Hitcher, and those are just like two of my favorites that he's in. But that guy was in so many movies and in video games. I forget the name of that video game that he was the central character and did all the voice acting work for, but fantastic actor. But yeah, the hobo with a shotgun. I mean, it's just that I found it funny that they took two different movies that they made fake trailers for just to put in the middle of a movie and the whole point of that was for these grindhouse movies back in the day when they would come out that they would advertise, they would be double features, and then they would advertise other movies to get people excited for them in the middle of the movie as opposed to before. And that was just kind of like a staple of that genre. And then lo and behold, they do that, and then two movies actually come out of it. And I was like, that's wild.
Another good one that I didn't know was based off a short film was Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yes. That was my favorite
And that was
Tarantino
done
movie for a
by,
long
yeah, it
time.
was made by Tarantino with the help of the Sundance Film Institution.
Well, that was his first one. I mean, it's a bank robbery movie without the bank robbery. I love Mr. Pink, which is Steve Buscemi, his little diatribe that he does about why we shouldn't have to tip waitresses and why we do and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't get tipped for doing my job, sort of thing. And they all call him a cheap bastard because at the time, if I remember right, the argument was that most waitresses were younger, like single moms, that sort of thing. And then so it was just like a matter of kindness. But he's like, no, I'm stating a principle here. Like I shouldn't have to tip anybody, and then they all shame him into it. I love it. It was a fantastic way to open up that movie.
And I forgot that one of the main characters in that didn't actually have a Mr. name, because you had
No,
Mr. Blonde, Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue, and then Nice Guy Eddie.
that was and then was that the guy, or was I think that was Sean Penn, and then his dad was the one who the like the ringleader of the whole thing. But yeah, when they're arguing about like why do I have to be Mr. Pink? Why can't I be Mr. Black? He's like, then all you assholes will fight to be Mr. Black.
Yeah,
Like,
I tried that once, didn't work. We had everybody arguing about who was going to be Mr. Black.
fantastic movie.
Yeah,
I
Chris
didn't know that
Penn
that was
was
the
Nice
con.
Guy Eddie.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, he's dead too.
Damn.
Too many of them. Yeah, that's Sean Penn's brother. I mean, he was in Footloose and a million other movies. Fantastic actor, but yeah, he gone now. But another good one. Where did it go? Which I know that you're not the biggest fan of. Was the Smile movies? That another high concept horror movie of of. What I really liked about those two movies is that you could never trust what was actually real and what wasn't real, which made
Yeah,
it,
but I've also
I
seen
thought,
that done
very
better,
fun.
but that's just me. Like, I will say, like, another movie that started with a short that had that same concept was Oculus, which I think did that whole concept a lot better.
Which I have not seen and definitely need to check that out. If you say it's better than the Smile movies, I just happen to like, again, like with the guerrilla marketing that we were talking about earlier with the Blair Witch Project, where they would have people go to baseball games and sit behind the mound with these insane smiles on their face. And then if people are like, what the hell's wrong with all these people? Why are they doing that? And it was
Yeah, but if I
marketing
wanted to see
for
that,
the
just go
film.
watch The Crazies again.
That's another fun movie. A good remake of a John Carpenter movie. If I'm not mistaken, the original one was made
Yeah,
by
the
John
original was
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Yeah.
Adding Tobias here again. I just realized that The Crazies was not a film by John Carpenter. It was a film by George A. Romero, originally done in 1973. So sorry about that.
I'll watch anything with John Carpenter. Uh, but I think he's dead too. But yeah, I
John
feel like
Carpenter? No, I think he's still around.
is he still around?
I think he is.
I know that what always impressed me about John Carpenter as a side note was that not only did he direct and write the vast majority of his films, but he also composed the music for them. Like the Halloween theme and the theme to The Thing and They Live and all that. He did the music for all those movies. Big Trouble in Little China, like all the movies that he did. He did well, not all of them, but the vast majority of them. He did the music for them too.
Yeah, let me see if I can find, because Oculus had a short film before it, or it was made from a short film that was called like Oculus Chapter 3, which was weird because it was a short film, but it was also called Chapter 3 when there were no other chapters. Because I actually like it was on Netflix. Both of them were on Netflix back in the day. Because it
It
had
seems to be.
Oculus Chapter 3 after I'd watched Oculus. I'm like, okay, is there a Chapter 2? Wait, what do you mean there's no Chapter 2? Because I thought it was a sequel to the Oculus, but then I later I found out that it was actually the short film that made Oculus by Mike Flanagan.
What is the name of that movie? It's a horror film that's an allegory for sexually transmitted diseases and the
Oh, It
creatures.
Follows.
Yeah, It Follows. Was that a short or not?
I don't know if it was or not.
Because that one, it just seems like this is something that happens more for like for horror films in that there's
They
because
make
it's
like a
like really
shorter concept and it kind of becomes one.
yeah. Yeah, to kind of show like to show off your creature or the horror or whatever it is. But it makes me wonder if It
Yeah, like
Follows was one.
another two here on this list that are were shorts that became horror films were one is Mama, which was
Yeah.
made by
Isn't that
an
Guillermo del
Argentinian
Toro?
director,
Oh.
Andre Muschietti.
Hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce this name. But
Uh-huh.
Guillermo del Toro agreed to produce and finance the feature film version of it. And the other one was, once I can locate it again.
Oh, apparently they're gonna make a sequel called They Follow to It Follows and starting filming in 2025.
Huh,
Interesting.
that'll be interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, another one is, I don't know who else saw it, the horror anthology Trick or Treat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that started out as a short film. And then I think they actually put the original short film in the full length anthology.
Hmm. Oh, Spies in Disguise. That's funny. I didn't know that that was
Oh,
originally based on a short. The Will Smith, Tom Holland spy movie.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know. I kind of didn't know Tom Holland was in that.
Yeah, I did not. Aren't they turned into birds? I'm
Yeah,
trying to
one of them
remember.
is, yes.
Was there
I
a
don't
movie
know if that
called
was.
Bird? Was there a movie called Birdnado or something?
No, it was
Birdnado.
Birdemic.
It was what?
It was Birdemic.
Oh right, Birdemic.
And they made two
Birdemic.
of them.
Yeah,
Birdemic.
I just remember the trailer looked like the most low effort thing.
Oh, it
Like
was.
they made the bird tornado thing or whatever. It looked like straight up like a high school project.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's
the guy
hilarious.
even did like guerrilla marketing for that. He literally was going out like handing out coat hangers with the title of the film on them.
Yeah.
My guy, that's hilarious. Oh, dude, there's 3 movies that actually. I'm. There was a trailer for in those Grindhouse movies I was talking about earlier, where they made Machete and then they made Hobo with a Shotgun. Thanksgiving. They made a Thanksgiving horror movie. I totally remember the trailer for that now.
I was that recent or is that old?
2023
Yeah.
by Eli Roth,
Yeah.
Right, thanks.
which
These is basically
is a
like
big surprise after he did Knock Knock, and look how that happened.
yeah,
Uh,
isn't it basically a silent just go shoot 'em movie?
Which one?
That's for the Thanksgiving one.
I don't know.
That's for maybe I'm thinking of a different holiday.
Yeah, based on the
They're
fictitious
both
trailer from Grindhouse in 2007.
yeah, that is
Patrick
hilarious.
Dempsey, Alice, and Addison Rae.
I just remember they show that girl jumping on the trampoline, and then there's the knife, and then she jumps and does the splits, and then right when she lands, it cuts to a different scene. And I was like, "Blah!" When I saw that, the original one, I was like, "What the hell
Oh,
is
here was the
this?"
other horror one. A short film in 2005 called Monster became 2014's The Babadook.
Oh, dude, that movie. Oh, that one
Which,
freaked
if
me
we
out
could
the
have
first time I
had,
saw it.
she couldn't join us this time, but Nishi Does Gaming, I'd love to have
Mhm.
her put on that one because she is Australian.
Oh man, that's a fantastic movie. It's like a legitimately good movie. More than just like, and it's scary. So I really like that one. That was one of the better
I like
horror
it.
movies, if
I
you
like it
ask
as
me.
one of the horror movies where the monster doesn't get defeated. It's trapped there with them, but at the same time, it's not actually gone. Like as long as the book
Well,
exists, it exists.
and if you've ever, I mean, if you have children, I mean, Jesus, when that kid is going ape shit and stuff, and then she's just trying to deal with it like that, there's something in that that's just like very fitting. And then when it starts driving her nuts, and then but it's not bothering her kid anymore, then he starts acting sweet again. I mean that, like, the what is this? Why is this happening? Sort of thing. If you've ever had a kid that was just like, why are you acting like this right now? Which I think every single parent has had their child do that at one point or two in your life. You're like, why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense, sort of thing. I found that to be so endearing and relatable to that film, and just very warm-hearted. And like by the end of it, and the relationship between the mother and son. I mean, all great horror movies are not about the creatures as much as they are about the people who are actually in it and stuff. So I was really.
What was that horror movie where they were both blindfolded?
Are you the Sandra Bullock one?
Yeah, I think so.
Bird Box.
Yeah, that
Bert.
one.
That wasn't really a horror movie though.
I just remember it was kind of semi horror, and
It was
they had
semi-horror, but it was horror in the same way that it's
would it
technically
be
a horror movie, but
would it be more thriller than horror?
a little bit. I wouldn't even say thriller really, but that's just me. I didn't really find it all that great.
I haven't
Like
watched
I
it.
tried watching it when it was first out on Netflix, and I just couldn't get through because I was like, this is just so fucking stupid. Especially
I
it's like,
remember
well,
watching it
we
and
can't see. How are we supposed to function? It's like blind people do it all the time. And where are all the seeing eye dogs or literally anything else on this planet that works with blind people?
well, what about
Yes.
what the hell was the name of that movie? I think it's called Blindness. Yeah. I mean, this dealt with kind of the same, similar concept, but this is like it's an epidemic of blindness affecting everyone in the world. Yeah, that was it's adapted from a 1995 novel of the same name. But yeah, that was about. I mean, similar thing, not as much as what Bird Box is, which is more of like what do they call those? Like a road trip movie is trying to get from
I
point
wouldn't
A
even
to
call it a
point
road
B.
trip movie. It's like 10 minutes of it is a road trip movie. The rest of it is a prequel to that road
Well,
trip that they keep interspersing throughout the road trip.
So it's basically this is what happened before the road trip.
Exactly. And they keep showing it in the middle of the road trip with no real transitions.
Oh, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, a few minutes of the road trip, then we how did
Then
we
we
get
go
to this
back
road
to what
trip?
happened before, and then it keeps going through that, and you get maybe like 15, maybe 20 minutes of an actual like road trip part of the film that's supposed to be the scary part. It
Yeah.
didn't really work for me, especially when it's
That's
like
just like
if you
your
really consider
opinion,
it's like
man.
we have so many things that blind people use to get around, and it's like, oh well, what are we gonna do? We can't see. It's like you still have internet, dumbass. You can look up like how to do all this stuff without seeing.
Yeah.
Well, it's post-apocalyptic.
No, it isn't. The beginning of it is modern day, and that's when they're doing all this. Well, how are we supposed to go to the store? We can't see. Like, are you stupid?
Maybe when it's first set, but like the primary part of the movie is that I mean, it's literally defined as
Yeah,
a
the 20 minutes
post-apocalyptic
that's supposed
horror
to be the
story.
road trip part of the film, and that's not even
Uh,
post-apocalyptic.
The
That's
20
literally
Bingo.
like
minutes.
maybe 2 or 3 years later, and
It's
even then,
been a
it's not
while
really
since I've seen it.
post-apocalyptic because everything is still functioning.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. I mean, I saw it when it came out, but it's been a while since I've watched it. But yeah,
I
as far as like all the intricacies of the plot and that kind of stuff.
They tried to make it into like a big brain like horror thing, and it didn't really work.
if you don't watch it, if you didn't like it, you're not intelligent enough to understand.
Yeah, it was one of those.
It
I
looks like
didn't.
they
I think
made.
my sister watched it. I'm just like, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's for me.
Well, there's
I didn't. I
apparently
never watched it. It didn't really look interesting to me.
there's a second one called Bird Box Barcelona. Do you know anything about that one, Tobias? I did not
No,
even know that
I
there
didn't
was
even know there
another
was a
one.
sequel. That might be
I didn't. I
an
didn't
original
either.
one.
It says Bird Box Barcelona. It was made in 2023 as a post-apocalyptic horror film. It's a spin-off sequel to the 2018 film Bird Box, and
Well,
it's
is it a
based off a
spin-off or
character
is it a
from the
sequel?
same book.
Those are two different things.
It's a spin-off sequel.
Wait, how does
It's
that make
literally,
sense?
well, that's what it. I think it's because it's a sequel in regards that it has like one of the same characters that's in the original Bird Box, but
Or
it's
it
a
takes place in
spin-off
the same
story.
world.
Yeah,
Or it's a
I think
spin-off
that.
since it's completely different, separated.
Then again, I'm reading what is how it's written up on Wikipedia, so somebody could be just fudging their words on this. But yeah,
Someone could just be making up something on Wikipedia.
yeah,
Yeah, but there are
but
movies that have done that way better.
absolutely. Well, that's
Like
it. Sorry, go ahead.
the movies that done the blindness part, or just in general.
Kind of both. I mean, the idea of like you can't look at this monster or else you go crazy. That's been done a couple of times.
Wasn't the village technically in a way
Uh,
that?
no, the village was one where they didn't really see the monster, but that was because the monster was made up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I remember it's
it
like
was the Scooby Doo, a guy in a costume.
because I remember it's like only this blind girl can go to get the place because she's the only one that can't see it, so she's not afraid of the monster.
Well, that was the idea, but it was also just because we didn't want anyone to know who lives in
Oh
this village
shit!
that it was actually an experiment.
I totally forgot that girl was blind in that
Yeah,
movie.
that's what she
I
was the only one allowed to leave the village because she was the only one who couldn't see any of modern society.
I just remember she pops out into a road, and it was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? What the hell?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, Chappie was another one.
Who is the director of that movie?
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night
Yeah,
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
I haven't
Yeah.
forgiven him since Avatar.
I don't think anybody has.
It's, like I find out that movies, I'm like, this guy.
Oh, dude, yeah. I found the
I used to troll people about the Avatar movie because everyone just collectively it pretends it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's like
talk.
collectively it does not exist. Like Star Fox Command, it does not exist.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't exist, and someone tried sending me pictures of the movie that it does exist. I'm like, no, it doesn't exist.
It's John
That's
Cena.
some real great AI you
You
got
can't
there.
see me.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like that's a good alternate reality you got there. How'd you find it?
Man.
Where was I? I just saw another one that I actually recall. Chappie was a short film as well beforehand,
Really,
and it was by
Chappie?
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, I was about to say that's one. That's the one that he came out with after he did District 9, and then he was that
And they
his
did
second
Chappie.
or third one. But yeah, that came out right afterwards. I never watched that. That's with that Diane Word or Diane Wood band members, the Ninja and what's her face, and they make such strange music. They're South African people.
Oh, Cargo was based off one as well, based on
I
the same
never
name.
watched that,
It was
but
all right.
I was like Martin Freeman. I like him a lot.
The Cleansing Hour was a pretty decent one, and that was based off a short film by the same name. And then the other one I found is I wish we had I think it's Vagabond over here for this one, The Blackening.
Oh, the blackening. Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I love us. The tagline for it is "We can't all die first."
I love it when they play on tropes in movies like that. It's like the black guy always dies first in horror movies. Oh,
I think I
dude,
found.
holy shit!
No, this isn't a. Or is it? It's a psychological thriller, but it's called Sightless. So it's
Is that?
another blind person film.
Oh, oh, have you ever seen Blindness? Where it's like they think it's a communicable disease that's turning
Oh
people
yeah,
blind. That's pretty interesting.
yeah.
But
The idea of what the hell do they call it? It's not mass hysteria, but it's the same general genre as mass hysteria. Well,
mhm.
not genre, but it's the same idea.
I didn't know this. The movie Elephant by Gus Van Sant was originally based off of a short. That's the one that's like based off of Columbine. That's
Oh
a
yeah, heavily
really
inspired by the Columbine High School Massacre.
yeah, that one is a gnarly movie.
Wouldn't be able to make
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah, Gus Van Sant's a very strange dude. He's like I put him in the same category as what the hell is that guy's name? He did The House That Jack Built. What the hell is that guy's name? Oh, Lars von Trier. Maybe it's just because it's a foreign three-person name, but yeah, Lars von Trier. Man, that guy makes some really weird shit. Really, really dark stuff. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he hasn't made a movie since The House That Jack Built. Interesting. I really like that movie, but I mean,
Maybe
like it
because it
in
was the
that
house that
I
he built
counted
too.
it. Well, it's an interesting film, but good God, I mean, it was horrific. But there's some of the elements in that movie, like some of the dark humor in it, was I found to be utterly hysterical. But I mean, it's a kind of he's one of those directors that just loves sniffing his own farts and thinks that he's the best thing ever. So Tarantino does that. I mean, the very last scene in Inglourious Bastards is I think, or the very last line is I think this might be my masterpiece.
Yeah.
And he's carving a swastika in that guy's head. He's like, "Good."
I mean, doing that isn't necessarily bad, but I guess only certain people can get away with doing it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to be really talented.
You have to
And
know how
I
to
would,
do it right.
oh,
AKA not James Gunn.
Yes.
no shit. Yeah, I feel you there. Well, I mean, with
Yeah,
Tarantino, he is that talented, and I would say that Inglourious Basterds is probably actually, like, technically speaking, his best film. I mean, my favorite of his is Django Unchained, but because that one I find to be infinitely watchable. But yeah, Inglourious Basterds is probably his best technical movie. He's one of those guys that can get away with it. I
Yeah, you
agree with
really have
that.
to know what you're doing with a film that kind of deals with
yeah,
heavy stuff like that and makes it
yeah. I
into a sort of
remember
a satire.
I think I think it was we tried watching that that whatever animated show he made, and he kind of the intro kind of made himself like, oh, I made the best thing ever. It's like, okay, James Gunn.
Well, there's a reason Wolfenstein, the second of the more recent Wolfensteins, did Nazi America infinitely better than
I
Peacemaker
didn't
did.
watch I didn't watch either season. I didn't really personally care for it.
Yeah, I haven't watched either
Because
the
like if you're gonna
Peacemaker
make
season.
satire about such a heavy thing, you have to know how to do it right.
Like, especially what they did in that episode. They're like, what are you trying to say here, James Gunn?
What I actually did not even know that there was. I've heard things about the second season of Peacemaker, but I do
Basically,
not.
they made a alternate universe where there's no black people, and it's basically a utopia.
What?
Yeah, and then he doesn't even find out to Utopia until like the very end of the episode, and we picks up the
And
American
then they
flag, and there's no stars
was
on it. Instead, it's a swastika.
yeah.
Oh,
So
It's
it's
interesting.
like
like,
you didn't realize this when you realized that there was something really wrong with this place.
like everyone that said that's been watching, it's like this wasn't really shocking. They were kind of hinting towards this the entire show. So,
Oh,
but it's just
interesting. I
like,
have not heard about
what are you
that at
trying to
all.
say here?
Yeah, and that's probably one of the other important things about like concept films and stuff like that is it really does kind of test if you can actually get away with making something like that.
Yeah,
Like do a
that's
short version first and just see if people actually like how you did it. And if they
well. I
don't
mean,
like it, then don't do that. You didn't waste millions of dollars on episodes of a show or like hundreds of billions on a film. You just made something kind of short that people will forget about.
Yeah,
Perfect example is what you brought up with Robert Rodriguez making that short for Sin City is because he's like, look, this is a very short part of that initial comic, and that would be perfect for doing a short, but it's like no movie has ever been made that looks like this movie, where it's like that neo-noir, black and white, but it looked exactly like the comic book. And he's like, no, I'm going to make it look exactly like the comic book. And that's what got Frank Miller on board because he's like, yeah, this looked exactly like my art. I mean, and
It was
he
the
was
same
so
thing with
faithful to that.
when 300 was made. They literally did like shot for shot pages out of the original graphic novel for 300.
And isn't that weird that those are some of the best done, like best selling movies of all time and stuff like that when they do stuff like that, when they're actually like respect the material that it came from.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's almost like
yeah.
you
It's
should
Weird.
respect the
interesting how
source.
that happens. It's almost like you should do that.
Yeah, strange. How do they? Yeah, there's just a total lack of respect with when it comes to that stuff. Oh,
And again,
dude.
that's kind of the whole point of a lot of these like concept or proto films, I guess if you want to call them that. Like if you did Saw, like the original Saw or Saw Point Five as it was, like if you tried to introduce the newer Saws like that, it wouldn't work. Like if you tried to put like the last couple Saw movies like Saw X and stuff like that, and then make an entirely new series on that. Like if you showed that as your this is what we want to do for our movie kind of thing, and all you show is torture porn, they're not going to buy into it.
Yeah. Well, and the first, if you look at like the first movie versus the last movie, it's almost like polar opposite of what you see with good TV series, where like the pilot is so like if you see like the first episode Tony Soprano versus like the last season Tony Soprano and how developed the characters got and everything like that, it's like that in reverse for these kind of movies where the first Saw is, in my opinion, the best one, and then the second one's
Well, the
like
first one was
good, but
made
not as
by
good.
Levy and James Wan, and they were both on the project for the first for Saw Point Five and then the original Saw. And then I think
Mhm,
James Wan after that split off from Saw, and the second and third one were both written by Winnell.
mhm.
And then after
Which,
that, they kind of you can tell the direction went way off course after those three films because that was supposed to be the original ending.
well, it did what a lot of those like 80 horrors movies did, where there's like they just kept going with it. Where there's like 15 Freddy Kruegers, there's 15, Friday the 13th movies, and then
Yeah,
it's
but they
like the
also
first
do
one's always the
explain
best
why
one.
there's so many. Like Saw didn't make any sense as to why you would have more than three when at the end of the third one he's literally killed.
Yeah,
Like you can't
it's
come
like
back from
money,
that.
baby.
You can't come back from
Money,
murdering your main villain.
money. If
Yeah,
you have
money
enough
says
money, you
otherwise.
can.
Freddy and Jason both kind of had retcon kind of things in their backstories during all the sequels. Like
Mhm.
Freddy went from child murderer to dream demon to having made pacts with ancient gods.
Yeah, it was absolutely bizarre.
And
But I mean, they
Jason
did
was
the same
always
thing
just
with
kind of a
Halloween
resident.
too.
Now, Halloween, I don't know really how you would do that, because Halloween's had like three different retcons
Reboot?
throughout its
Yeah,
series. And you had
yeah.
Halloween 1 and 2, and then everything else splits off from there. Because then you have Halloween 3, 4, and H2O.
Yeah. Which H2O is actually good,
Yeah, H2O is pretty
in
good.
my opinion.
And then you
Yeah.
have Halloween like 5 and 6, which eventually came to Mike Myers getting electrocuted in the nuts with a live wire from some famous rapper whose name I can't remember
Oh,
now.
Exhibit?
Yeah,
That's when
Exhibit.
they're like, yeah, when they're in the horror, like when they're in the house and they're filming it and then he shows up there and starts murdering.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was.
you get the retcon from there back to Halloween 2 is ending. And then that one, because Halloween 6 was the end of the original run with the little girl who was like Mike Myers' niece.
Mm-hmm.
And then they retconned that to having Laurie Strode and Michael Myers fighting at Laurie Strode's the mental asylum where Laurie was, and then her dying, and then him going back to the old house for the Exhibit
Mm-hmm.
one. And
Yeah.
that was a retcon because they took the whole thing out of that where Jamie was even a thing from 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, and
from
like
there
he
you
came
had
from a cult and all that
yeah, and
weird
then
shit.
yeah, the Cult of Thorn, and then they revamped it
Mhm.
again to the new Halloween 3 movies. And all of those
Which,
take place after Halloween 2.
yes, which I actually liked how they did that. I did not like the third one, but I did like the first two. The first one was better. The second one kind of tapered off a little bit, but it's like one of the first kills in the second movie where somebody pulls out a deagle and then he kicks the door as she's shooting at him, and then the door hits her hand and she shoots herself in the face. I
Yeah.
literally laughed out loud when I saw that the first time. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to take this seriously at all? That just literally cracked me up. I was like, what the hell? Oh my god, dude. Like, what is the luck with that? The best kick of all time.
And then, of course, the original revolver holding 7 shots instead of 6 from the first film. And then, of course, the second film with Dr. Loomis, I shot him 6 times! Like, no, you shot him 7. Somehow you made the bullet magically appear.
Oh man. Yeah, those Halloween movies were fun, but yeah, they definitely they went rogue on those, and we're not even going to talk about the Rob Zombie one.
Oh, hell no,
But
we're not even going to start on that one. That doesn't count.
but
Like, as
apparently, and
much
I
as I
just saw
respect
this,
Rob Zombie as, like, a music video director, I do not respect him as a filmmaker.
I was never into the House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Reject, I was never really into any of those movies. I'm not sure if he's ever actually made a movie that I enjoy. I'd have to look through his filmography.
Actually, I did find out when I was looking up something. Do you know what the Dragula actually is?
No.
How about you, Ebola? Do you know what the Dragula is?
No.
It was the original car driven by Herman Munster in The Munsters.
What?
That was the Dragula. And in the music video for Dragula, Rob Zombie bought the original car and is driving it for that music video.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because he loved the Munsters so much that he wanted to make a video featuring that car. And that's where Dragula comes from. It's the original name of the car.
That's hilarious. No, he did one of those Grindhouse trailers, and he did my favorite one. I haven't even thought about this since I watched that movie, which was the Werewolf Women of the SS. I'm like, why didn't they make that one into a real movie, dude?
Well, I mean, technically they did, but it was a long time ago. It was like Elsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
Elsa, I've never heard of this.
It was an old movie, and I mean like really old. Like I remember seeing.
How old are we talking? Old.
I'm talking at least 70s.
1975. Yeah, 1975. Ilsa is an evil Nazi warden at the death camp that conducts medical experiments. Ilsa's goal is to prove women can withstand more pain and suffering than men, therefore should be allowed to fight on the front lines. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I remember awesome. It was part of the trailer was part of something I watched that was essentially like a whole movie about movie trailers, like horror movie trailers. Yeah. And it was featuring a guy and like a puppet zombie. And it was during a zombie apocalypse when all these zombies were coming in and watching trailers for horror movies.
That's hilarious. I never knew that this was a real movie. That must have been where he got his
yeah, that might have been where that idea came from. But that movie also had stuff like goddamn, what's the name of it? Oh, the original 2000 Maniacs.
2000 Maniacs? Never heard of that.
It's essentially the South rises again, but they're all absolutely insane fucking rednecks who murder northern tourists.
Oh my gosh, dude. You're such a plethora of knowledge for this kind of shit. I did
Well,
not
like I
know
said,
that.
I literally watched a movie on Netflix back in the day that was like all horror and gore movie trailers and stuff like that, and it was literally like, how I'm gonna stay safe in the zombie apocalypse is I'm gonna keep showing the zombies horror movie trailers. That way they won't come up here and eat me.
Dude, well, that is so funny. I did not even know Elsa the she-wolf of the SS.
Yeah,
It's
I'm trying
rated
to remember what that movie
5.1
was
on
called.
IMDb. Oh my gosh. What is that name? Fido? Have you ever seen that where it's zombies? Let me look that up. But it's like it's a society like post apocalypse part of of zombies, and then now they keep them as like house pets. Yeah, Fido, 2006. In
Oh,
a
here it is.
society where
Mad
humanity
Ron's
has
Purviews from Hell was what that movie was called.
wait, say that again?
Mad Ron's Purviews from Hell.
Mad on
Deranged projectionist Mad Ron and host Nick, a charismatic zombie, Happy Goldsplat screen a collection of horror and exploitation trailers for a theater of the undead.
what? This is from holy hell. Yeah, dude, your ability to sit through like really low budget horror movies has always been admirable to me. It's
Well, I
just
just loved it because it was showing like all these old trailers of horror movies and stuff because it was hilarious. And it had like a whole bunch
oh
of jokes of like Fangoria and stuff.
man.
Because it was like they had a Fangoria like, hey, why are some of these pages missing? I got hungry.
Oh my god. Yeah, so the movie I was talking about, Fido, it says in a society where humanity has narrowly won a war against a zombie outbreak and technology allows for zombies to be used as working slaves, a young boy's close friendship with his family's household zombies becomes problematic. And there's a bunch of stars in it. It's a very entertaining movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was 2006 during like all the zombie craze. But it has Carrie Ann Moss, who is what's her face, Trinity from the Matrix movies, and
Oh,
Billy Conley.
God, now I can't remember her name either.
But yeah, Carrie Ann Moss
Yeah,
Never.
and a
that one.
bunch. Yeah,
Yeah,
th-
I'm having.
she was. But
Unfortunately, she was in the Acolyte.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a terrible show, but she is a fantastic actress.
That
Still
show
hot.
is real bad.
Yeah. Like 4.3 on IMDb right now.
It should be
Oh,
lower.
jeez. Yeah, it should be
He's
lower.
also in Jessica
Yeah.
Jones and The Defenders and Iron Fist. I didn't know that she was in all those. Damn. And Daredevil, apparently.
Yeah, if you can find it, I definitely recommend. If you can stomach it, Mad Ron's Purviews from Hell because it is hilarious. I mean, it's literally like the original projection is Mad Ron is like a feral human, and his whole thing, all he does is like growl and grunt and show films. And then a ventriloquist and a zombie are doing lowbrow comedy.
Oh my god.
Like, if you want to see what original Grindhouse films were kind of like, I would definitely suggest that.
The original Evil Dead is rated NC-17?
Yep.
Did not know that. I guess just because of the time. It doesn't seem especially gnarly now.
No, especially not now with what we've seen. But
No,
remember,
I mean like
one of the Friday the 13th, I think it was part 6. It's either 6 or 7. It's the one with the psychic girl, so I think it's 7. But they had to cut out the whole scene of he was also in the Hatchet movies.
I'm not sure.
I think Kane H.
Was it
Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder? Oh yeah, I totally remember that. I've seen the poster for this, but I've never actually watched this movie. Is that a good horror film?
It's all right. I mean, it's definitely a throwback to the original like grindhousey kind of horrors that don't take themselves too seriously.
It has Robert Englund and Tony Todd in it, and it's only all right.
Well, they don't have a major point in the film.
Hmm,
Tony Todd's only in the movie for like maybe 6 minutes.
interesting.
But
Yeah,
he plays a voodoo shop owner.
they definitely did a send off for him in the last Final Destination movie. Did you see that?
I have not.
The most recent one, dude.
I have
That
not
one
seen
had me. I was yelling in the movie theater when I watched it. It's just I was not ready for how. I love all of those movies. I found them very entertaining, but I was like, oh, dude, they're bringing back the Final Destination movies, and that last one was Final Destination Bloodlines. It was so gnarly in comparison to the ones that we, like quote unquote grew up with, because just how much further special effects has come along. I mean, some of it I was just not ready to see. I just, oh shit! I couldn't stop screaming. There was a big group of girls sitting in front of me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be yelling like this. I just am not ready for this, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
rated
Kane
R for
Hodder
strong,
was
violent, grisly.
he started Jason Voorhees in New Blood, which I think is like part 7.
Hmm.
But there was this whole scene where he was slamming a sleeping bag against a tree that was supposed to have one of the girls in it.
I thought that was in Jason X, the one where he's in space.
No, it's based off that scene though. But this one
Oh,
was
really?
specifically cut down by the MPAA because if this scene had gone longer, it would have gotten them an X rating. And all he did
Ooh.
was he slammed the sleeping bag against the tree, and this thing was heavy. It was like 95 pounds. So he was literally like struggling and trying to actually like slam this thing up against the tree realistically. And he does it like 2 times, and then when it lays on or he drops on the ground, then he kicks it because he was so frustrated with it. And the MPAA said, no, you can't have him slamming against a tree a second time. No, you have to cut that, or we're going to
What?
give it an X rating.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Huh.
it wasn't for the blood and gore. It was because he slapped a sleeping bag analog against a tree twice and then kicked it because it was so freaking heavy.
Oh man, that it just made me think of. Um, hold on, was this one rated? Is this one, yeah, not rated too? Oh, I didn't realize I'd seen so many movies that are not rated because of how gnarly they are. Interesting. Very interesting. Um, but yeah, to get us back on subject, I'm not sure how many more of these that we actually have to go through, but I did not know that movie Pixels, and Adam Sandler was originally based off of a short.
I didn't really see it.
Loosely adapted from a 2010 short film Pixels by Patrick John. It was a French animated short written and directed by that same guy. It was about an invasion of New York City by classic 8-bit video game characters such as those from Space Invaders and Pac-Man. Yeah, it won an award for it, but yeah, it was only 2 minutes long, the original short, and then they turned it into a full-fledged Adam Sandler movie. It it's fun for kids. Like my son saw it and was like, "Dude, giant Pac-Man thing? Can we watch that?" And sure. It's not anything that you would write home about or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
definitely entertaining for the younger folk. And plus, I will take any excuse to be able to stare at Michelle Monaghan. Oh, buddy. That chick is so, but that's just me being me though. Oh yeah, she was in Mission Impossible movies, huh? Yeah, but I'm
Oh,
trying to
another
think of
fact
what.
about Kane Hodder in that same film, 1998's Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. He set a record for being on fire the longest.
Oh really?
Yeah, staying
Does
at
he
light for
have the long?
44 seconds,
Jesus, that is so
uninterrupted,
long.
on-screen controlled burn.
Is that where he goes up the stairs and like from a basement or something? And
Yes,
then like
and he's on
that I've
fire the
seen
entire time.
I've seen something about that before. I did not know that was that same guy and same film. I
Yeah, it's the
watched
same
something
guy.
about that. That's
And
unbelievable.
it's still the longest held record. Nobody has
Well,
beaten that
yeah.
record yet.
Why would you want to even try, dude? Oh my
No,
God.
stuntmen have done crazier things. No, there is a longer one. Much longer. The
Where somebody
longest
was
fire
on.
burn stunt, 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
How?
I have
How?
no idea.
What movie is that, or what is it for?
It just says Yosef is his name. He was in
He's just a foreigner that they set on fire for some movie. Like Jesus Christ.
Daredevil Burning Joe. Drags a car
Oh,
100 meters while on fire.
good God. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like
he's a
in a film.
stuntman.
It was just, yeah.
Yosef
Why though?
Totling. He's Austrian.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, those Austrians.
I'm just glad he didn't try to become a painter and fail at it,
Yeah.
bad history with those people.
Yeah, another failed. We can't have another failed Austrian painter.
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
would have been
God.
a good architect according to literally everybody.
Oh man.
But no, he
But he
wanted to be a
decided to
painter.
be, yeah, and then he
Yeah.
decided to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
To name but a few of the records he's broken, back in 2013, he claimed the longest duration of full body burn without oxygen was an
he
unbelievable
held
time of
his breath.
5 minutes 41 seconds. No, I think
How
it
can
just
you
means
hold?
that he didn't have like an oxygen tube to his while he was doing it.
Wait, was he like without any protection of burnage?
No, I think
Like,
he had protection.
So they put
okay,
him in like the flame suit, and then they put all that jelly and shit over him.
Yeah.
prob-
Yeah, it goes without saying, but
probably.
a full body burn is one of the most dangerous stunts a person can perform and requires a lot of training.
Eesh.
Yeah, it reminds me. I saw a clip like it was like some scene in Game of Thrones where they like put the guy in a suit and just burned him, but he was perfectly fine.
Oh,
It
that's
was probably
wild. Oh, I didn't know Willy's Wonderland, the Nicolas Cage movie, which is it from what I understand, is that like
It's
budget
like
or
Five
like
Nights at
good?
Freddy's, but it's better.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it like the Great Value brand of Five Nights at Freddy's? But
I
you're
will
saying
say
it's
it's
actually
better
better.
than Five Nights at Freddy's, mostly because it ups the violence and Nick Cage says absolutely nothing in the entire film. Like his entire thing is body acting in that entire film, and he doesn't need to speak.
That's like what was that, Sisu? Did you watch that? The guy doesn't say anything until the very last scene of the movie, and then he has like two words that he says about that guy who it's set during World War II, and he is mining gold in, I think it's like Norway or Finland or one of those places,
I think it's
and
Finnish. Yeah, I think Sisu's a
yeah,
Finnish name.
yeah, and
I
an SS battalion
think it
comes
was
across him.
finished.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk throughout the entire movie, but there is a movie that if you want to take that concept even further, I was like, am I on drugs or something when I watched this? Let me look it up. If I'm not mistaken, it's Silent Night. Have you ever heard of this?
Oh
It's a
I've heard
yes,
John.
of that.
the original
Yeah.
Silent Night,
No, it's here. Hold on, let me pull it up.
because
It's
there've
a
been a
John
couple of
Woo
them.
movie. Well, it's
Okay, I was thinking of the horror movie
nobody.
Silent Night.
No. This isn't a horror movie. Yeah,
Is it the Santa?
2023. Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, and a grieving father enacts his long-awaited revenge against a ruthless gang on Christmas Eve. He loses his ability to talk, but I didn't know this. Nobody talks in the entire movie. It's
Nice.
so
I think I remember
strange.
seeing ads for that, but I don't think I ever saw it.
Dude, I remember seeing ads for it too, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be sick." Um, it's a John Woo movie, and it's gonna be fun or whatever. But dude, it
Oh,
is
definitely.
abs absolutely bizarre when you see it. It's
Oh, speaking of
yeah.
John Woo, you know what game really needs a remake?
Hmm.
Stranglehold.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
The direct sequel to
Hard
his
boiled.
Hard Boiled.
Yeah, dude, that
Yeah,
hard
he went
boiled
from making a
rules.
movie to making a video game as its direct sequel.
Yeah, that game absolutely rules.
We need a remake
But
of that.
yeah, when I was watching Silent Night, I got like 40 minutes into the movie, and then they're like showing people and showing stuff, but nobody ever says anything. I was like, what the hell is going on in this movie? It totally took me by surprise. I didn't think that they could make a movie where literally people don't talk in the entire movie.
Yeah,
I
but
just thought that was
that's one
so.
thing that Willy's Wonderland was so great at was it was literally just Nick Cage staying absolutely silent and doing like body acting the entire film. And it was fantastic because he like gets covered in oil like killing these robots and then he just changes his shirts and goes back to work. Like he does not give a fuck about anything else in that movie, and it is
Oh,
great. Like he literally has this scene where he's about to fight one of the robots with the teen girl's like main lead. I can't remember her name. And then his watch goes off, and he's like, he just looks at it, and then he hands her the broken broom and walks off to go take a break.
that's hilarious. So I looked this up, and it goes, um, I said, why does no one talk in Silent Night? And it says, because it was an intentional cinematic experiment by director John Woo, who chose to tell a story purely through visuals and action rather than dialogue. The main character's inability to speak after a traumatic event serves as a narrative device, forcing the actors to rely on physical and emotional expression to convey the plot of their character's inner turmoil. It's a visual storytelling experiment. Yeah, but you should advertise that in the goddamn trailer, dude. Because I got that far into it, I was like, seriously, nobody said anything so far. what is going on? Like, why is no one talking?
I definitely need to see
Oh,
that now.
oh, dude,
But yeah,
it did.
I will always recommend Willy's Wonderland. Like if you liked Five Nights at Freddy's, it's like that, but it doesn't have like the whole kids thing. Like there are no
I
murdered kids. It's literally an actual killer whose soul possesses the animatronics and his cult.
oh, so it's
And the
like
whole reason that they still have this place open, like they actually explain why this place is still open, is
like
because when they tried to close it, the animatronics left the shop and went on a killing spree in town. So
a
they have to
cannibal.
actually appease these haunted animatronics by sacrificing people to them,
Oh, how
or
strange.
else they will leave the restaurant and go on a killing spree in town.
So it's like it has an element of like the Chucky movies where
A little bit,
a
yeah,
serial killer is inhabiting an inanimate.
yeah, it's like that. But
And
it's a little bit
it,
like it takes like the basic premise of Five Nights at Freddy's, where it's like, oh, you got to stay overnight and make sure that you don't die, and you're
hmm,
doing essentially a basic job. Like his car is like partially, the tires are all completely destroyed, and he can't pay because he doesn't have any cash, and there's no checking, and there's no credit cards in this town because they don't have internet.
oh, that's hilarious.
So it's like,
Yeah,
well, you can pay us a couple $1,000s to repair your car, or you can spend the night in this restaurant and clean it up because we're planning on reopening it. And so he does that. So this whole movie is him just trying to get this place clean, and the robots keep coming to life.
oh, that's so funny. Did you
Like I really
did you ever?
recommend the movie. It is great,
Well, I mean, I love Nicolas Cage. I
and it
have.
does not take itself seriously at all.
Well, did you see Mandy with him? I've seen
Yes,
clips from it, but I've never actually watched that movie. Is
that
it
is
any
an
good?
insane film. Like it is very art house, but it's grindhouse art house.
So it's gnarly.
Oh, it is gnarly as hell.
I don't even know what that's
I mean,
about, but
Nicolas Cage literally gets into a chainsaw fight, like an actual chainsaw duel, with a guy with another chainsaw that's like 5 feet long of just the blade.
no kidding. Did you watch The Color Out of Space with him?
Yes, I did really enjoy that too because it stayed pretty close to the original book.
I was gonna say because yeah, the Dunwich Horror is one of my favorite Lovecraftian stories. Like that, I love The Color Out of Space.
And
That
that's
is
actually another great concept thing was the movie From Beyond, which was based off
movie.
the Lovecraft short film or short movie, not movie, short story that was like in a magazine.
No kidding.
So
I've
they
never heard
literally
of it.
took a story from Lovecraft that was like maybe like 3 pages and turned it into a full-length film with Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Interesting.
original From Beyond.
Hmm. We'll have to look that up. And then, not to just keep asking you about Nick Cage horror movies, but Pig. Did you watch
I
that?
did not see that.
He's a truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregon wilderness, must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped.
He was also in a film called Mad, which was another film, which stood for Mom and Dad, because all these parents go absolutely batshit crazy, start trying to murder
I,
their kids.
no, I have not heard about
Yeah, it's
that.
called Mad, and it also has Nicolas Cage.
I saw him in
And
Long
probably
Legs.
the best
That was
line from that
bizarre.
is, "It's called Saws All because it saws all." And he's saying it like a crazy voice.
Yeah, he. Did you watch Long Legs? Did you see him
No,
in
I did
that
not.
where he's wearing prosthetics on his face? And he looks totally different, but you can tell when he talks that it's Nicolas Cage or whatever, because it's kind of hard to separate him out of
Yeah,
anything that he does. But yeah, he's absolutely bizarre. I
like
like that movie.
he's a strange actor when you think about it. I mean, he takes roles in every genre.
Well, he's extremely talented, but yeah,
It has
he's
to be with
got
the
a
right
very interesting
directors.
career. Yeah, like I remember like Matchstickman and The Rock and National Treasure. He did a whole bunch of stuff when we were younger, and then he kind of fell off and only did like these really shitty movies for a while, and then he just
Yeah, like The Witch
came
Hunter and
back.
stuff like that.
hmm Then
And
he
then he
came
came
back, and
back when
now
he
he.
started working with actual directors again.
What the hell was that? That one that he did with Pedro Pascal? Um.
I can't remember.
Oh God, that
But
was so funny.
I know which one you're talking about. It's probably the only Pedro Pascal thing I will recommend anybody watch. I can't remember the
What?
What?
name. It's a scene. It's a movie about Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal, and Pedro Pascal is essentially playing Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, where he's like totally over the top. What the hell is the name of that? Oh, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he plays himself as
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage. That's so funny. That movie is actually.
like I will say, that's the only thing with Pedro Pascal that's come out recently that I've found to be any good.
Oh my gosh. I
Like
used to really like
I
him, but
liked
he
him in
just
the
didn't.
original in the first season of Mandalorian, and after that, no. I think everyone kind of agrees with that at this point.
Look, I thought he was better as Joel than I thought he was gonna be in The Last of Us in the first season, but we all knew where that was gonna go.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's in just way too much. Gladiator 2, I thought that sucked.
it's overexposure
And
at this point.
yeah, he just needs to take a break for a little bit and not be in every freaking movie. Um, Trying to think of another one. Yeah, I didn't like the second Kingsman movie, The Golden Circle. I thought that movie sucked.
Some of it
But
was fun. I liked the whole ending part. The end of that movie was great just because it had Elton John.
yeah, that part was cool. I will give you that. That part was cool. But compared to the first movie, it totally blew. But the prequel that they did with Ray Fiennes, I actually really liked that one. I thought that was fantastic.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that one.
Uh, um, yeah, what is that called? It's Kingsman.
I think it's literally just the Kingsman
Yeah, I think
because there
you're
was
right.
Kingsman and then the Kingsman.
Yeah, Ray Fiennes, where uh, the Constant Gardener, where he gardened constantly. What the hell was the name of that? Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll watch anything. Yeah, The King's Man is what it's called. King Spaceman. Yeah, it's got where they fight Rasputin in it. It's that movie's very fun.
The
Very, very.
Kingsman?
Yeah, the third one. It's a prequel where it like shows the founding of the Kingsman organization or whatever, and it all takes place during World War One. There's some pretty. If you haven't seen it, there's some pretty amazing. There's one fight in particular where there's a bunch of people going. There's a bunch of British guys trying to cross no man's land, and they're trying to sneak across silently. But and then they run into a group of Germans that are trying to cross silently too. So it's like an 8-on-8 fight, but they have to stay quiet because if they're loud at all, then machine guns from both sides are going to open up and slaughter them. It's and then of course later in the movie they actually fight Rasputin himself, and it's like three or
Yeah.
four of them are fighting him, which I thought was very fun. But yeah, that prequel was good.
We've gotten so off track.
Oh, hey,
Just like we always do.
technically speaking, we're not off track because we're still talking movies, baby. Oh man.
And I'm trying to find if I can find it, what the oldest concept film is.
Dude, they're making 2 more Kingsman movies? Holy shit.
Well, it's saying, or at least Google is saying, The Sitter, 1977, which then became When a Stranger Calls in 1979.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie. It's been a while since I've seen that.
It's been
Yeah,
a very long time.
you picked a good one because I didn't realize that there was so many of these that were made, and not only that, that I've
I didn't
seen
either.
so
Like,
many.
I only knew about like a couple. Like most of these, I didn't even know had short originals. Like I had no idea. This Is the End had a short that was called Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse.
It is so funny of all the movies that had one. That is one. This is the end. Is totally cracked me up.
And I
And
knew,
then yeah,
like, I knew Nine had a short.
I had never seen it before. But I was semi-familiar with the fact that had a short. I think I'd heard something about it before. But yeah, and then like Talk to Me, that horror movie that came out in 2023, because those guys had done it on YouTube first, and then
Yeah, they were one of
were
the
able
ones
to
that
get.
put up a short film on YouTube, and then it became a feature film from there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's many more that we're leaving off the list of all these ones
Oh,
that
there's a ton. I mean, we didn't even mention like Whiplash was a short film first, and then it was turned
Oh
into
my,
the major film it is now.
that is such a good movie, Whiplash. So fantastic. Yeah, but the short actually has um what the hell is that guy's name? That you give me pictures of Spider-Man. What is that guy? I'm just gonna J. Jonah Jameson. What the hell is that guy's name? But yeah, that that movie Whiplash is fantastic. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about a movie that I just wouldn't think that they would make nowadays because of how technically abusive he is. But trying to push him into greatness and
Yeah,
stuff.
and then he succeeds. Like
Yeah,
he
that
literally wins by failing.
I didn't know that Miles Teller actually was a drummer growing up, and that's why. And he did the vast majority of the actual drumming in that movie. So
Bunch on Reddit, of course. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow was originally a short called The World of Tomorrow, which was made in 1998.
that was Jude Law and Angelina Jolie. It was like 2003. I saw that when it came out. It was much shown.
Sling Blade.
French
Uh,
Predator sticks.
What
That's
We
a
Do
good
in the
movie.
Shadows, both the series and the movie.
I love that movie. I saw a little bit of the show, but I absolutely love the movie. There's when they keep talking about like their roommate, it's like a Nosferatu style vampire. They're like, oh, he just keeps to himself and sleeps a lot. Freaking Nosferatu. Oh my gosh. No, and the werewolf, they get in fights with other with they make fun of werewolves because they're not as popular as vampires and stuff. Werewolf, their wolf.
Their castle.
Yeah, dude, those movies are something else. I should say that movie is something else. It's very funny, good satire, but I love the Flight of the Conchords guys. Those dudes are hysterical.
Any more
I mean,
you
they
can
just
think of, Ebola?
Any more of short films? Not
Mhm.
really.
Okay, let's try this. With a lot of the short films that we do see on YouTube and uh,
I mean,
Rumble and all over the
yeah.
place, what do you think it would take now to make one of those into a full-length film?
Uh,
just depends on how
probably
talented
a
the
I
lot,
person is that
I
lot
will
making
because
it.
say I've seen.
they had free reign to do basically whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea that I really like is a lot of these short films, or a couple of them that are like major films. Like I will always suggest two films by the channel Evan Royal, which is SCP Overlord,
Oh, that's
and he
fantastic.
also did one called Shadow of the Zone, based on Stalker.
Did he do that with Wendigoon? Is that
Yes,
the
Wendigoon
Wendigoon
is in
Stalker
that.
movie? Interesting. I heard that he was making a Stalker movie. I didn't know it was made by the same guy who did that SCP short film.
Yeah, he did a couple of SCP short films. He did Dollhouse, and I can't remember what the other one's called. Let me look real quick here. Because I could
That's
definitely see those turning into full feature films if he stays in charge of it. Because he
yes.
did great with Overlord.
Well, that's somebody with a true vision for what he wants to do. And it was made with enough of a budget where and filmed convincingly enough that it felt like there was way more money put into it.
Oh
It
yeah.
was.
Okay, he's done a bunch of films based on wow, pretty much everything.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
so the channel is called Evan Royalty, and the two like main film or the shorts that I would definitely suggest are SCP Overlord, and I call it a short because it's only 34 minutes. While Shadow
Hmm.
of the Zone is an hour 11 minutes, so I'd say that's more of a feature film length. But he also
Yeah.
did SCP Dollhouse, First Contact, and he also has a couple of Modern Warfare ones called Fog of War and Kill or Capture.
No kidding.
And
Oh,
he
it looks
also
like
did
he
a Backrooms one.
is about to say there's an Into the Backrooms. I just saw
Yeah,
that. I
Into the
started looking up
Backrooms.
the channel. Damn, dude, that is awesome. Yeah, I did not know that. I heard about this Stalker movie, but I have not watched it yet. I love the Stalker games.
I would recommend watching it because it is really good.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you get
Interesting.
shorts of like that kind of quality where they really care about the source material and want to make it look really good, and then you give them like the full budget of a full-length film, I think that is like you need to prove yourself first with the concepts.
Hmm.
Like I think
Have you
that's what's
watched?
missing from a lot of movies now is there is no concept beforehand.
Yeah, or if they do, it's like written by somebody, but then produced by other people, and then they're like, oh, I want to put my own spin on this instead of actually going with the source material or going like they are not directly inspired by it much. and
Or
it
they're
seems like
not even following the original script.
well, it just seems like it's kind of like what the Marvel movies did, where they get all these big name directors to like make these Marvel movies, but it's not really anything that's like their style or anything like that. And it's like it's their source material, it's Marvel source material, but then they're just like, Sam Raimi it up for the second um what is that, Doctor Strange movie, and it's like, does this really fit? Like, I'm sure that it could, but it's not really like his Evil Dead style movies. And then so it's like you're not letting them
Well, I
do
mean, Sam Raimi
exactly
also
what
did
they would do.
Spider-Man, so he's worked
Well,
with
yeah.
Marvel before, but they still weren't able to
Yeah.
make a good second Doctor Strange movie
Well, I mean, he's
because he's worked
extremely
with
talented,
Marvel and Fox.
but but it's not like their original vision. It's more like they're handed the material, and then they're like, direct this, as opposed to like they would see something like this Evan Royalty channel that you're talking about. That's obviously somebody who really enjoys the content
Yeah, the
and
passion
then knows.
projects.
Yes, and that really shows through and through. Like that's why there's only so many Tarantino movies, because he only makes exactly what he wants to make, and then he writes all of his own stuff. And then so you can see that with some of these directors, but when it comes to these short films, one thing that popped up in my head, I mean, I brought up Oat Studios by Neil Blomkamp and that Rocket movie. Some of those would make fantastic longer length films, but Love, Death, and Robots. That's Tim Miller's baby, and those are made by a bunch of different companies under his animation studio. Well, he does a couple of them, but I forget. Is it Blur? I think is the name, Blur Studios or whatever is what he has. But they
Who
make
did the new one that came out, Secret Level?
that's also Tim Miller too.
Okay.
But yeah, like the guy who did that original Warhammer short, they used him to make the Warhammer short that was on Secret Level.
Yeah,
And you can tell,
Astartes is what
yeah,
that project was called.
and you can tell just by the way that it's filmed that it is exactly like that. And it's like, wow, this guy nailed it on the head. This dude knew exactly what he was doing and had a story to. So I think that that's what it really comes down to when it comes to these. And I think it would be nice if they did more of these shorts that are proof of concept, even though that they can be somewhat expensive if and no real way to make money off of them, as
Yeah.
opposed to just like being on YouTube sort of thing. Like there's not really a good way to make money off of them, but that's why like when it's a passion project, that's why they make them. Is it's
Yeah, and
like
a
this
lot of
is
these
something that,
movies that we were talking about earlier started out as passion projects.
like the Dirk Diggler story. 17 years old. Oh man. But yeah, what a good podcast idea. This one really, I thought, bore some fruit and for an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I just wish we could have gotten more people, but everyone's kind of busy tonight.
Yeah,
That's okay. They're lost.
I was just trying
Yeah.
to think of things.
Well, like I
There's
said,
not.
we were originally going to do this yesterday, but you were doing a whole bunch of moving stuff, and everyone was
I
watching
had I had a,
Jess's
I had a
stream.
meeting plus Vagabond's thing.
Yeah, Vagabond's doing a new podcast on Sundays, isn't he?
Where it's not hentai, yeah.
Okay.
Where is
I
is
swear it's not hentai.
What is that?
Talked about very weird anime that sounds borderline, but it's not.
Yeah, they actually. He wants to get me on there to talk about some of the furry anime, like Beastars.
Yeah,
Which
Oh,
I will say
interesting.
I have not actually seen.
I've seen some of it.
I've seen some of it. Beastars and
I
Brand New Animal. I've seen some things on them, but I haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I'm no expert by any means.
Yeah, I
But
watched. I think I watched it because my sister was watching it. Maybe I was watching because she was in the room, or just I was like, "What is this anime?"
Well, they're both based off mangas, so they actually have some
Yeah,
source material.
yeah. I just remember just anime. I'm just like, what is this?
What is this?
Yeah, and Red, if
I
you
remember.
remember, Game Freak once recommended Cat Planet Cuties to me. Again, that was a very weird anime, but it was great.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Like, he's
I
like,
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, our buddy Game Freak is an anime guy as well, and in the same conversation, he's like, okay, you need to watch Cat Planet Cuties, and you need to watch Elfen Lied.
Yeah, dude. Elven Lied
Like, how
rules.
do you go from two extremes like that?
Dude, that is so funny because I remember I watched High School of the Dead, and I was like, dude, why is there so many crotch shots in this thing? And he's like, it's Japanese. They just kind of do that. I was like, what? And he's just like, nah, dude, trust me. And he's like, it's not as like. He's like, it's strange to us, but it's not as strange as in like anime standards, especially for ones that are like more like tiered towards
There's some
adults.
that is just like, what is wrong? And there's like, okay, this is kind of
What drug were you
tame.
taking? How much were you taking? And where can I get some?
Yeah, it's just like, what were you thinking making this, animating this scene? And the other one's like, okay, this is not that bad.
Oh
Yeah, like
man,
what
like
was one he was talking about the other night was Mysterious Girlfriend X or something like that?
Yeah, or My Dress Up Darling.
Well, that one
Or
sounds
one.
more like a normal anime.
Yeah, there was one he was talking about a fart anime.
Well,
Oh
I started
God.
watching the Evangelion movie. Man, I didn't realize that. I didn't remember that so much like nudity and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, all these are kids. Like none of these are adults. Like what the hell?
Oh, remember the age of consent in Japan is lower than in America.
It's 13.
I thought it was
Jesus.
14.
It's
Oh
check.
my God, I did
I mean,
not
you
know
think
that.
that's bad? Vatican City is like 12,
Age
which explains
it's
a lot.
Good God.
13 to 16, and as of 2 years ago, though.
Oh
Wow.
man,
I mean, that
they raised it to
one explains
16.
a lot from Japan.
Oh man.
I mean, it also
Wow.
kind of explains like why they can get away with so many like horror stuff for
Yeah,
like high school horror kind of thing. Like Silent Hill F is like high school level stuff too. And it's like
Mhm.
I don't think you could do that in America, just specifically because you wouldn't be allowed to do that kind of thing to what are essentially kids.
Well, like the Battle Royale book and movies, they're all freshmen.
yeah,
Uh, high
yeah.
school kids, they're all
It's
like 14 and stuff. So, and there's some of them are, getting there's some sexual scenes and stuff like that in the book. It's way gnarlier in the anime. Sorry, in the
In the
manga
movie.
for that.
Yeah,
Well,
there's some
no,
things
like
they
the
could do in the
mangas.
manga that they
No.
couldn't do in the movie, of course.
Oh
And not
my
just because
God.
of lack of time.
No, like the Mitsuko, the real psychotic chick. She has the highest kill count of any of the female chicks. She's the second highest in the book and in the movie and in the manga. She kills like 8 or 9 other students.
oh,
She has some extremely like they do some of the backstory that's not in the movie or in the book about her and her she basically like gets with a UFC fighter when she's like a freshman or like 8th grade sort of thing and drives this guy nuts and ends up having has relations with him and then is like I'm gonna tell all these people and they're gonna think you're a pedophile and blah 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 and he drives his car off of a cliff and kills himself and then she just laughs about it. You're just like, well, that's why this chick is so psychotic or whatever.
Because
But
she
yeah,
always has been.
yeah, dude. So there's like lots of that stuff that is just they wouldn't do that kind of stuff in American American
Yeah, you
stuff.
wouldn't be able to get away with that in American media.
But yeah, when it comes to those animes, it was strange because I was like I wasn't expecting because it's been a minute since I've seen those Evangelion movies again in the TV show, and I was like I forgot that there was nudity and these kids are cute. They're like kids, like so strange. And it's so mainstream as far as animes go. I mean, they have giant Avas in Japan theme park. It's a huge.
Don't they also have like a full size Gundam in Japan that actually like
do.
walks?
you used to.
Oh,
They
used to.
they decommissioned it like a few years ago.
Well, by
Well, there's
decommission, do you mean they just made it stop moving and now it's essentially a statue?
I don't think. I think they just might have taken it completely down.
Well,
That's a
there's
lot
a
of
giant
money.
Ava. There's a Ava Unit 1, the purple and green one that Shinji's in, that you can walk up to that's life size, and you can stand in his hand and stuff like that, and then get up to his head and stuff. It's really cool in a park somewhere. I was like, dude, that's so rad.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah.
shout out to I Swear Hentai, and yesterday was Jess's baking stream, Baking Bad,
Yeah.
and
What an
she
awesome
immediately
name.
outshone like all of us in one video.
That is so. Yeah, I super chatted on Jeremy's stream, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, stop!"
Yeah, how many views did she get in total? Like
It
as of
was
now?
okay. I checked a few minutes ago. It's at like 315.
God damn, that's higher than anything I've ever made.
That's fantastic.
The
Good for
the
her. Maybe we can
outside
actually learn how to
outside a
bake.
random basketball stream I did, the highest I got is 202.
Let me see what the highest on. my channel is.
At least stream wise, my highest video is like almost 400,000 views.
Nice.
I mean, that's way better than anything I've done.
It was like the most. It was the most random video. I'm just gonna just react to this random cover song. It's at 3.8 right now.
Okay,
I
yeah,
was like,
the best
okay.
that we have is one of the Helldivers modded videos that was streamed, and it's at 607, and that was 7 months ago.
Nice.
Nice.
As compared to Silent Hill F, which has 23 views.
Yeah, but you just did that one, so.
And I also
only
just did
20.
the Hunt Showdown one, and that's at 21 views.
I love Hunt Showdown.
Yeah, the new update's fun, so we're gonna have to play that again at some point.
Yeah, my most
Absolutely.
recent stream that has triple views is a month ago, and it was at 124.
Nice.
I usually get around like 30 to 50 views on my streams anyway.
Hell, talk about consistency.
I also just
What?
realized that I did 2 videos on Wild Assault, and the more popular one is the one that I kept getting screwed over by OBS, and I didn't have audio for like half of it. And for some reason, that has 148 views, as compared to the one that didn't have any problems and is at 79.
Maybe that says something about.
Are you still recording?
For right now, yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here pretty soon, but. Yeah, shout out to the GCA community and the For the Homies community over here as well.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Like, go check
Another
out their
one.
stuff. Basically, if you're part of the 199, the GCA, or For the Homies, go check out everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
At least do.
Like, I know this video will probably get like 20 views, maybe. But I'm gonna say, go check out everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy if I get like a total of 3 views, and I'm pretty content with that.
I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah.
It at least means that I entertained maybe 3 people, and I'm happy with just that.
Yeah, I'm just like
if
I get
in a
at
room.
least 3, I'm okay with that. That's enough.
Yeah, if you were in a room entertaining 3 people for this long, you'd feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I remember some guy stream, or I mean, there was like he's like, there's 3 people watching. Just imagine 3 people in the room sitting talking with them, and I'm like, that's a good way to look at it.
Absolutely.
Especially
instead of
be
like,
interaction.
It's like you only got like 7 views. It's like, but it's like if you think about it, it's like that's 7 people in a room together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even be. That wouldn't have done anything at all if you hadn't got up made the content. So I think that's awesome.
It took me a while to decide to start making videos again.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I might, if I can figure out how. I don't know how to do it with OBS still. I'm still got to figure it out. But I want to try multi-streaming to Kick as well. And I might put some of these videos on Rumble, because I do have a channel over there. I just don't have anything on it.
Yeah.
So I might put some of these Fireside chats over there. These are way too long for TikTok.
As I said, clip them up, turn them into TikTok.
Does TikTok have a length, like have a long-term video format?
Apparently, people watch like 40. Like they'll clip up a movie into like 60 clips, and then people watch the entire movie.
I've seen people doing that on YouTube back in the day too.
Yeah,
like there's this. I think I have it. I have an app. It's like Drama. Let me check what the name is called. It's called Drama Box, which is, I think it's mostly just Chinese clips though, Chinese show clips, and it's just a bunch of clips together that you just scroll to watch the entire thing.
Well, there you go. Now we have also told people how to watch full-length videos on TikTok.
I'm not sure. It might be on TikTok, but I think people upload them on YouTube. The entire.
I know people do on YouTube.
Clips. Like they upload the entire all the clips together on YouTube, where it's like one length video.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I even had the original Sonic the Hedgehog OVA from like 1999. It was a 3-part video. And I just stitched them together to make one full-length film. And it works.
Yeah, I remember that's how I saw the original Battle Royale movie before I could get it, because it hadn't been released in America. And the only way that you could get like an actual DVD of it was like ones that people would sell on eBay, where they just took the movie and ripped it and then put their own subtitles on it and stuff. And then but somebody had clipped it up into like 10 clips on YouTube. And that's how I saw it for the first time. It's taking me back.
Just shows how old we are.
I need to watch that movie, because I watched the trailer and it's like basically kind of inspired Hunger Games, and I'm like, oh.
Well, apparently, I just saw a thing that they're doing. It's like a 25 or 30 year anniversary re-release, Or no,
Was
it's
it going
going
to
to
be
be
the
the 25.
kids from the original movie come back to kill more people?
No, they're going to re-release. I don't know where theatrically, but they're going to take the original 2001 film and then put it in the movie theater again. Which
Oh,
That would be
Quentin
interesting.
Tarantino said that's his favorite
that'll be
movie.
interesting how it is received because it's,
Especially now.
Mhm.
I don't know,
But
people
yeah,
might try it considering that Asian movies is doing better than Hollywood movies.
Oh yeah.
dude, yeah, Korean movies kick the shit out of American movies. But that's just a personal
Not to mention,
opinion.
we keep having Ghibli films and anime movies coming back into theaters,
Yeah.
like Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
Yeah,
The thing
but
is,
that
I think the last Korean was Parasite that won an Oscar.
oh,
But that was
dude,
a few.
Yeah,
that's an interesting film.
The first one I watched was Train to Busan, which is probably everyone's
that
first
was a great
Korean
one.
movie.
That
Or
was not my
Korean.
first Korean one, but it was a good Korean one.
I
Yes.
think, like everyone when they think of a Korean film or
Well, I would
media,
say it's either Train to Busan or The Host,
yeah.
Yeah,
which The Host is
Usually
about
it's
the giant mutated fish monster.
Oh.
yeah, that was like 2006. Yeah, mine. The first one I heard of was The Host that I wanted to see because they used to advertise it on G4, and I watched that. But then my
Good
first
old
one was
G4.
Yeah,
yeah,
back when
I know,
G4
right?
was back when Tech TV was good.
Back before they killed themselves, basically, by
Essentially,
destroying
yeah.
their
They kind of destroyed
self-imploded.
themselves.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
basically imploded
I
themselves.
remember Tech TV, and I actually went to the theater for the Screensavers show twice. I actually went
Yeah.
into the studio and got to be part of the little crowd for that. And that was the first time I ever heard of the original Star Wars MMORPG. Was
Oh,
they
and
did
Knights
a
of the
LAN
Old
party with
Republic?
it. I
KOTOR?
don't think no, it wasn't KOTOR. It was an actual like MMORPG.
Oh, interesting.
It
I
wasn't.
think
It was it a? It wasn't. Was it a video game RPG or
yes, but it was what the hell did they call it? Let me look.
was it Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Oh, there we
No, it was
go.
not the Old Republic. It was way before that.
Because there's the on that be, but that's the online.
I think it was
MMORPG
Galaxies.
one. Star Wars Galaxy.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, just before
Yeah, it was
we
called
get too
Star
far
Wars
off,
Galaxies, and it was released in 2003.
Hmm.
And the first time I ever saw it was in the Tech TV studios in San Francisco, watching them play that on the screensavers for LAN Party Thursdays. And that shows
That's
how old
so
we
cool.
are.
Shit.
Wow.
Well, I was gonna say before we forget because the host came out in 2006. The guy who recommended that, who used to be on like Attack of the Show and stuff, and he still does stuff movie reviews, is Chris Gore, because he was talking
Oh, we still
about
talk to Chris Gore.
yeah,
He's part of the
he's amazing.
199.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love Chris Gore. I mean, I used to watch him when I was a kid, so he
I'm trying to remember
recommended
what
the
his show
movie.
is called now, though.
Huh.
Because I know he's on with Gary every now and then for their show, The Nooner.
Yeah. Well,
But I
he
can't
recommended
remember
the
what
movie.
Chris's show was called for some reason.
It's called the Korean movie called Old Boy, and when he talked about the concept for the film and that there was a oneer in this movie, and this is 2003, where they had a no cut action scene in this where this guy is in a hallway fighting off a bunch of people with a hammer, and that was the first Korean movie that I saw because I'd say The Host is the first one I actually saw because I saw it on TV, but that Old Boy was the first one that I like sought out and bought, and I found it on Blu-ray a really long time ago. They came out with the Vengeance trilogy, which is the same director. He made 3 movies that are all about revenge, and Old Boy is the second one. They don't have anything to do with each other, but
No,
the
they're not
first one is
connected in like a story way. They're just all connected by theme.
And so the first one's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, the second one is Old Boy, and the third one is Lady Vengeance. And all 3 are fantastic movies, but Old Boy is something else. And Spike Lee actually did an American remake of that with Samuel Jackson and Josh Brolin. It is dog shit. Do not watch it. Watch the original. It is such a good movie. Could not recommend it more. Like, it is an unbelievable movie.
And there we go.
And
We're
still holds up
ending the
really well.
podcast with how to watch full-length movies on YouTube and video recommendations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, man.
Always. Just glad you two showed up. Glad everything's
Of
going
course.
good for you guys. So once again, I'm Tobias.
I'm Red.
I'm Booming Bob.
Booming Bob, Liquid Ebola, Light and Shadow. You have so many names at this point.
I'm. It's becoming a
I
meme
heard-
at this point.
Yeah, I think I heard Biggest Dickus too, but I mean, that could have just been a rumor or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone made up another name. It's become a meme. They just decide to add names now.
Just leave it to the GCA to come up with even more names.
Yes, and thank you
Yeah.
again to the GCA and all the other communities that supported us, and we're
To make this kind of
glad
thing
to give
possible.
back as much as we can. Yeah, absolutely.
And we will talk to you guys next time. So
Later.
hopefully I will actually remember to make something before the end of October.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be back. You can't get rid of us that easy.
As much as they may try.